Checking in on Bitcoin, we've got a tightening 12-hour range. Social media sentiment is shifting a bit as people prepare for the potential that we reject from $20,000 and need some more significant consolidation first. Let's see what the charts are saying. Hey crypto traders, checking in on Bitcoin and the altcoin space. We'll start it off with the dollar, extremely weak, and the RSI is down at 23. We're looking for a daily oversold bounce in the near term. It doesn't mean we can't go lower. We have seen this RSI recently down in the teens, but we know short term to be watching for a bounce. If we have not broken 20,000 on Bitcoin and the dollar gets a daily oversold bounce going, that's going to be a little bit of added downward pressure favoring bears and favoring some more significant pullback before giving that $20,000 level another test. So something to be aware of in the short term, and that's what I'm going to be watching into next week. S&P 500, all-time highs, bulls in complete control, no red flags there. And Bitcoin, 12-hour time frame for clarity, in my opinion, is the best viewpoint. And how this breaks is going to dictate a lot for me. We've got our lower high being set at 19,626. And the bulls are looking for a 12-hour higher low to form compared to 18,100. If we change the hourly trend bullish, the odds that our 12-hour higher low has formed will increase a good bit. We have our low of this pullback, hourly oversold conditions. I was actually going to begin scaling in here for that 12-hour higher low. And I had orders in the 18,600s, 18,400s, using 18,100 as a stop. And obviously none of my orders filled. The trade did not come to me by just a little bit. Bounced back up to 19,162. And the bulls need to confirm that hourly trend change for that 12-hour higher low to be set. If we keep fading back down, then we're going to keep watching that $18,100 level. And there will be a potential playoff of that. So even if we were to drop for the next 8 hours and break 18,700, that hourly RSI would be back to oversold. And again, we would be watching for the potential of a bottom fishing play with 18,100, looking for that 12-hour higher low. If we get a 12-hour equilibrium and it breaks bearish over the weekend, we know that that's just added fuel for bears to be confident in a rejection from the all-time high in the short term and the potential need for weekly consolidation. Zooming into the weekly chart, or I should say zooming out, plenty of space for a weekly higher low. And that's what we're going to be watching. Do we need weekly consolidation? Seeing the sentiment shift on social media. Some people now posting about the resistance and bearish divergence and this and that. So that's a factor as well. And the longer we stay under this $20,000 level, the more shorts are going to be top fishing that level and the more longs are going to get a little bit antsy. So break that 12-hour equilibrium bearish. We then look down to 16,200 as a key level. If we break it bullish, then we're testing that $20,000 level. So that's all I care about for the next 2 days until this 12-hour time frame breaks. Bitcoin dominance is still fairly sideways. We have our low of the drop, high of the bounce, higher low formed, and I would call anything under 64.41 a lower high. Again, we could easily trade in this sideways range for another week plus, which would mean we're not really getting any information as far as whether money is better spent being in Bitcoin or in major altcoins, keeping in mind that there are definitely individual coins that do stand out as stronger than Bitcoin. But as far as the altcoin space on the whole, that is not going to matter as long as we're sideways. So we're patiently waiting for a break there. ETH USD, same thing on the 12-hour. Tightening range, higher low trying to form compared to 563. Our lower high was 624.57. If this 12-hour breaks bearish, we zoom out and we watch 480 for the bulls to try and hold that level. One other thing that could play out, and again, this is looking too far in advance to really care about at the moment, but if that 12-hour equilibrium were to break bearish, then we would be watching for the bulls to try and hold 16,200. And then if they do, we would have to be cautious of a daily head and shoulders. And ETH would be the same thing. Let's just say that we did break the 12-hour bearish. We look for the daily higher low compared to 480, but potentially a big enough pullback that we then scout a daily lower high the next time we bounce. So that's where my mind will shift to next if we break the 12-hour bearish. I'm still in very comfortable positions at this point. I would exit a bit more. Personally, I'm going to, if this 12-hour equilibrium breaks bearish. And that'll keep me in a position size comfortable, small enough where I will sit through weekly consolidation. And that will be just fine because I'll be, 90% cash patiently waiting to be looking to buy or looking to add during weekly consolidation. Where are we? ETH, BTC also sideways. As we know, the Bitcoin dominance chart is sideways. We've got this chart tightening up as well. Sideways the last 7 days. And again, we're not going to get any change that's noteworthy until these tightening daily ranges break as far as should we be looking to alts or should we be looking to Bitcoin. ETH USD, we've got our high, low, and this is a better tightening range on the daily as opposed to the 12-hour. We're looking for a higher low compared to 46 cents, and bulls are going to be looking to potentially bottom fish off of that level, especially if 4-hour oversold occurs, and we just got real close to it. So aggressive bulls are scouting 4-hour oversold bounce, looking for a higher low compared to 46 cents. Then the bulls will be hoping for a daily higher low to form, and on this wide range, we could tighten up here for another week plus as well. Litecoin. So Litecoin 12-hour time frame is a bit closer to a bear break. We're looking down at 79.84, and we got down to 81.91. It's actually percentage-wise fairly similar. Same thing, if we get the bear break, the difference here is it's a daily equilibrium. High, low, lower high, and a bear break on the 12-hour will then have us looking for a higher low. And there are a bunch of major altcoins that are in daily equilibriums because they failed to break to a higher high. It was really only Bitcoin, ETH, Sushi, YFI as some of the major altcoins that did break to that higher high. There's certainly more that did not. So Sushi, USDT daily consolidation underway with the daily inside bar bear break. Still possible a daily bull flag at this point. If we break the current low of 188, the odds of a daily bull flag will drop a good bit. But if 188 is our daily higher low, I would call that still a possible bull flag. We're watching for trend changes. The hourly is attempting a trend change right now. From there, we would zoom out and look for a 4-hour lower high. And then the bulls are going to try and bounce enough to set up a 4-hour trend change to indicate that daily higher low has been set. So nice consolidation, and it's pretty much doing its own thing. Low volume on this daily pullback comparative to high bull volume, that's a good sign as well. YFI USDT also got the bull break on the daily. Not a lot of follow through, so whenever I see that, I have to be cautious of the potential of a rising wedge. So let's see if I were going to be watching for a rising wedge. This is the 12-hour time frame, and I just start playing around to see where some trend lines stand out to me. And this is where I would be watching. Nothing immediately nearby, but something to keep on the back burner to be paying attention to. Same thing, we're looking for a daily higher low, EMA 12 support, hourly, trying to change that trend, struggling to do so at the moment. If they do, we zoom out, we look for the 4-hour lower high, and the bulls hope to bounce significantly enough to set up a 4-hour trend change. Still watching these weak names, and I'm almost wondering if the next time we see alt season, if we should be watching these major altcoins, Binance and Link, that have just completely missed this move over the last 2 months. You look at the weekly time frame for this Binance BTC chart, and it just fell off a cliff. And it's the same thing for Link. I mean, the past few months, Link has had some great runs in 2020, but the past few months, it has just completely missed this run. And again, if you look at the US dollar versions, they are going up, but they are going up way less than our other coins like Bitcoin. So I'm going to keep an eye on these names because, again, I am just looking for a monthly higher low on this Link BTC chart. It's certainly not the thing I want to enter on any weakness, but we saw the same thing on Litecoin. We were watching the Litecoin Bitcoin pairing in its long-term falling wedges. they eventually broke bullish. So again, whether it's a 2 weeks from now or 2 months from now, just something to be paying attention to as some coins that missed the party this time around. So all about the 12-hour in the short term. If we break it, we zoom out and we watch to see, can the bulls form daily higher lows? Lots of altcoins will be giving us daily equilibriums at that point, and then we'll be watching the potential of head and shoulders, but we'll talk about that next week if that is indeed what ends up taking place. Have a good rest of your Friday and a good weekend. We'll see you soon. Do good things.
Hey, babe. Ricky.